Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to another episode of Campus Care Ed Talks. I, Mehek Dhiman, your host for the day, would like to welcome you all. Ed Talks, a platform where educators and leaders come on board and express their viewpoints related to education and society. Our topic for the day is how to encourage students to be more creative and think outside the box and to express her viewpoints on the same. We have with us Miss Guneet Ori ma'am, principal of Sun City School, Gurugram. A very warm welcome, ma'am.
Warm welcome to you also, and thank you. Good to have you and me on the platform. What a very, very interesting topic.
Absolutely, ma'am. Thank you so much for being here today with us. We'd love to listen to your viewpoints, how to encourage students to be more creative. So let us begin with the session, ma'am.
Absolutely, I'm ready and waiting.
So, ma'am, firstly, when we talk of creativity among students, or let it be anybody, so uh, why do you think it's very important for, especially the students to be creative?
Okay, so before I actually delve into it from students' point of view, let me, sort of congratulate NTAB for getting this creative platform. The fact that we are online and a live session where we are not forcing anybody, we are not asking members to join, we are just leaving it out in the open. Those who are interested can come on board, and the topic in itself will attract people, right? Because it is something that everybody at this point in time, knowing that the world is changing, want to be a part of. So this is again creative, because if we would have it offline, the membership, the logistics, the entire paraphernalia that you need to host a session, how you can make it more interesting and innovative, all that energy that we have goes into something so concrete that this session is happening. So first and foremost, congratulations to you all.
Thank you.
And see, I mean, you all have experienced it, but probably many have not actually noticed to bring it into the forefront. Is that, like I always tell my teachers, all five fingers are not the same, but they're held by this wrist.
Yeah.
So they are managed by the wrist, right? So if we have to utilize these five fingers to their full use, the wrist has to provide that flexibility, and that flexibility is creativity to me. We have children of various learning capacities, various learning limitations, and strengths, but no one size fits all, isn't it? If we allow them to allow them space to open up and give their views, you'd be surprised as to how much energy they would bring into the classroom, how much of empowerment they would feel, and how much of initiative they would take to give their ideas. Doing this, they don't only hone their maybe thinking skills or problem solving skills, they also hone their communication and confidence. So I think creativity is very important, because it motivates children to learn. It gives them that spark in their brain to think from their point of view. Like, just one example I would like to give you, that we had we conducted in the classroom in one of grade 3, in grade 3. The students were asked to draw their vision of their English educator. So you cannot imagine. I mean, the teachers are coming dressed in formal wear, and they are all, looking up in a particular manner. But how a child sees you in her or his creative mind came about as such a surprise, because for one child, there was a halo around the teacher. Another child, there was a, there were those butterfly wings, because they envisioned the teacher to be somebody that brought them happiness, because probably butterflies were something that they're very fond of, or the halo was that, oh, you are equivalent to my god or whatever. And another child at the end of the day had the teacher with a pen in her hand, and her hair standing up with an expression which of course was not very clear, because how much can third standard children convey, but it had conveyed a harrowed and then a very overworked teacher. So how you pose the question and how you bring about the, let us say, the question to them is how they come out with it.
Yes, ma'am.
So I think, yes, it's absolutely very, very important that we instill creativity in time and age where we don't know what's going to happen tomorrow, what innovation is going to come about tomorrow. Yeah.
Thank you so much, ma'am. That was very beautifully explained by you. Moving forward, ma'am, when we talk about developing creativity in students, so what are some of the activities that you can, suggest for the same?
There are actually a whole lot, to be very honest. So I mean, everybody over here probably listening or will listen must have heard of the STEM activities or the STEAM activities, which are kind of an integration between science, the art, and the math. So when that is one set of activities that we can think of. But I think, like I said, a small activity like we did about the teacher, and this happened around the Teachers' Day, so it was relevant to the occasion and the thoughts of the children. Some other activities that you can let's say, maybe one activity that I can think of just offhand right now, we teach the children to love themselves, because our goal is to ensure that the children value themselves, because once they value themselves, they will be able to get that value from people, especially adolescents who are getting into all areas which are sensitive. We tell them that if you love yourself, you will allow only what you love to come inside your thoughts, your life, every time. So from that, we started with a kind of an activity where they had to write a poem on themselves as to why they love themselves. So grade 6, 7, 8 children, that is the middle years children, I mean, again, it was a surprise, because normal tendency is I love myself because I am tall or because I'm good at gymnastics, other the standard answers. But what we got in return was that I love myself because I settle in well wherever I go, or I love myself because I have 5 friends while my other friends have 2 friends, or something like that. So as they went on, their emotional need also got reflected. I want to love myself more was one aspect that a couple of children brought into the discussion. So some activities like this, maybe something like you have you give them. We have a hobby club. We have children taking part in various hobby clubs. So there is something called a Master Chef program that we have. So you give them ingredients and you tell them to assemble them in the manner that they think it would taste or look best. So with a rubric, you give them you give them those ingredients, and they assemble different things. So how a burger could look vis-a-vis how it actually looks was something of a learning experience and quite refreshing for us. Then maybe there are other activities where you can ask them to let's say, use the lego parts to create a millennium city, maybe, depending on the class. Or you give them you tell them that, okay, we need a moving piece, and these are the ingredients. So you give them the stuff and you give them the base, and they come up with a whole lot of new ideas and a whole lot of new creative inputs. One more I can maybe share with the audience here is we ask them to combine So because we are a school which sort of follows the multiple intelligences theory, we told them to integrate the naturalistic intelligence with the verbal linguistic intelligence. So they came up, and they also merged the naturalistic intelligence with the art of it. So we gave them folk art. Okay, how can you display folk art? And we give them that you have to sort of use the following intelligences. So they came up with tiles, which was quite normal, but what was the novelty of it was the I wish I could have, I didn't realize I should have carried those pieces. They created a kind of a boat with the whirly art, and they planted they created that terrarium. Terrarium is that kind of arrangement where the plants sustain themselves in water. So that they create. Some of them created. Others took chart paper and they created thumbprints, making the creating a futuristic look of the tree of life of Sun City School. So lots and lots of ideas actually there are. So it's just that you give them the ingredients, you'll be surprised. The carton, those eggshell where you keep those eggs, that case. So they made dolls out of those.
Wow.
So they cut those round pieces. Then with that, some of them, we just gave it to them, do what you want. So somebody, tried to make a kind of a ball, which was the simplest. Somebody put a thread to it and made it a kind of a beaded kind of a rope. But couple of children came up with something very interesting. They cut out those pieces, they painted them, and then they decorated them, and they put a thread through it and put a bead and created a kind of a, that you have the swinging dolls in the cars that you put where in the the rear view, along the rear view mirror. Yes. So lots and lots of these kind of things the children have been coming. I mean, these are just few that I can offhand tell you about.
They are really wonderful, ma'am. I think students of Sun City School are very, very, way too creative. And I think it's a very good initiative by you, all the hobby classes and everything you just mentioned now. So lastly, ma'am, so is there any issue also in teaching creativity?
For sure. See, nothing good comes out without facing the various challenges that are associated. So see, the challenges that I would say we face are mostly where we kind of have to struggle with the completion of syllabus vis-a-vis these activities, because they take a little more time, and every child takes his or her own period to come out. And it is very important that all are encouraged, in spite of the fact that some works are better than the others, right? So that is one challenge that we are facing. And too many activities also, sometimes teachers kind of get so carried away. Like the other day there was this Hindi activity where there was a lesson on chocolates. Yeah. So kaise banti hai chocolate? So the teacher sent a circular to the children, to the parents, saying send 5 wrappers of chocolates for an activity which will be best out of waste. So when it was, by the time it was sent, it was a little late, because I got to know about it later. Because on one hand we are telling them not to have junk, and then on the other hand we are telling them not to waste. We are wanting to make the best of. Here we are adding junk, and we are asking them to create a waste and then use that waste to make something. So those challenges of kind of identifying whether creativity is actually taking care of the other elements, that is the time of the children, the time of the parents, whether the child can do it on his own or the parent has to be involved, whether the larger aim, the learning of the concept is happening, and the larger aim that are we, since we are a sustainable development, our base is in sustainable development, are we actually fulfilling that goal? So these kind of challenges I am I'm trying to iron out, but yes, on an average we are doing fairly well.
Absolutely, ma'am. There comes a lot of challenges, when it comes to these activities and everything. Thank you so much, ma'am, for being here today. It was lovely listening to your, experiences, viewpoints, and especially, the every hobby classes and activities you just mentioned now. Thank you for
Yes.
being a, yeah, thank you so much for taking out your time.
Most welcome. Anytime. All the best.
Thank you,
Please
ma'am.
take.
And for all the
Bye.
viewers watching us out, please don't forget to subscribe to our channel for more stuff like this. Thank you, ma'am. Have a great day.